In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet the Paris stitch. Really gorgeous stitch created with a 1 row repeated pattern, making it the same on both sides. You get a very slight ridge to the fabric which gives it a lovely texture, and you get a nice drape in the fabric as well. So let's have a look at the tutorial. For this tutorial I'm going to be using a double knit yarn. I have a 4.5mm crochet hook. If you're a tight crochet you might even want to go up to a 5. So go up 0.5mm to the normal recommended hook size. I have a needle to sew in my ends and scissors to cut off my ends when I have finished. Now you can make this in 2 different colours if you want to, and I would recommend that you change after every 2 rows if that's what you want to do, or every 4 rows, every 8 rows. You get the idea, doing it in multiples of 2, just because it means you get to see the pattern more clearly. I'm just going to do today's sample in 1 colour. So let's get on with the tutorial. So for this pattern we're going to need a foundation chain made in multiples of 3 plus an extra 4 at the end. So make your slip knot in whichever way you prefer. And for my sample piece I'm going to make 18 chains and then 4 extras. So you need to make your foundation chain in however many number of chains and multiples of 3 that you would like, and I will see you after you've made your foundation chain. So I've made my foundation chain, my multiple of 3, so I have 18 chains. I'm now going to do my extra 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the first row of this pattern requires us to work into the 4th chain from the hook, so we don't count the 1 on the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and into that 4th chain we are going to make 2 trebles, chain 2, and then 1 double crochet. That's UK terms. So we're going into the 4th chain with our first treble, our second treble, so yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. You should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then in the same chain we're going to do a double crochet. And that's our first little cluster, and it sort of goes off to the side, and that's how it should be. So now we're going to skip 2 chains, so 1, 2, and in the next chain we're going to repeat this cluster of 2 trebles. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. You should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, so that's 1 treble. Working into the same chain, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, chain 2, 1, 2, and then a double crochet. So we're going to work this all the way down the line until we get to the last 3 chains. So skip 2 chains, in the next chain 2 trebles, that's 1 treble and 2 trebles, chain 2, 1, 2, and then a double crochet in the same chain. So work your way down your row, skipping 2, 2 trebles, 2 chains, 1 double crochet, all the way down till you get to your last 3 chains, and I will join you there. So we've worked our way down the row with our little clusters, and we've got 3 chains left. We're going to skip 2 chains, and in the very last chain we're going to make 2 trebles. Remember, that's UK terminology, that would be doubles in US. So that's 1, and 2. So that's the end of our foundation row. We're now going to work on the pattern, and the next row, row 2, is the repeated pattern all the way through, and it's super easy. So for row 2 then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn our work. And we're going to work our first treble in the base of the 3 chain we've got here. So we finished with 2 trebles, and we're going to start with essentially 2 trebles, that 3 chain counting as a treble there. So insert yarn over, pull through 2, and we have our treble. We're then going to skip all the way over to the chain space. So we're skipping this treble and we're skipping the double crochet, and we're looking for the 2 chain space we created with our 2 trebles, 2 chains and a double. So in that chain space we're going to do 2 trebles, 2 chains, 1 double, all within the space. So yarn over, insert into the chain space, yarn over, pull through. You should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 treble. Yarn over, insert into the chain space, yarn over, pull back through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's our 2 trebles. Now 2 chains, 1 and 2, and into the same chain space our double crochet. We're going to skip these 2 trebles, we're going to skip the double, and into the next chain space we're going to do that cluster again. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert into the same chain space, yarn over, pull back through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. 2 chains, 1, 2, and then 1 double crochet into the same chain space. Skip the 2 trebles, skip the double into the next chain space. And we're going to work this all the way down the row, so we're going to put 2 trebles, 1, 2, 2 chains, and 1 double. Skip the trebles, skip the double, and into the next chain space with 2 trebles, 2 chains, 1 double. So work your way down the row, and I will join you towards the end of the row. So coming up towards the end of the row here, so I've got 1 chain space left, so I'm going to do my little cluster in there of my 2 trebles, 1 and 2, 2 doubles, so 2 chains and 1 double into the same chain space. Then right at the very end we're going to skip the 2 trebles, and we're going to work into this 3 chain here. So 1, 2, 3, we're going to work into the top of that 3 chain, and we're going in with 2 trebles. So into the top of that 3rd chain with 1 treble into the same chain, with our 2nd treble, and there you have your first row of the repeated pattern. So let's have a look at how we do the next row, which is the same as we just did, as I just said. So chain 3, turn your work, work a treble into that very first space, and then we're working into the chain spaces with 2 trebles, 2 chains, 1 double. Into the next chain space with 2 trebles, 1 and 2, chain 2, 1 and 2 and 1 double. So it's going to be exactly the same on the front as it is on the back, so work into all the chain spaces down the row, and remember when you've worked into your last chain space, which is this one here, you're going to work into the top of this 3 chain with 2 trebles. So I'm going to work up a few more rows for you to see how it looks when it's a bit more established, and I shall see you in a moment. So here's how it looks with a few more rows made up. You get a lovely texture to the fabric. It has a nice drape to it. You've got these little ridges on here. I think this would make a really nice face cloth or a dishcloth, or if you extended, I did 18 chains here plus the 4 for turning, but if you just kept going with this row upon row, I think it would actually make a really lovely scarf, and you could add tassels to the end if you wanted to, or just keep it nice and plain. So really simple, really lovely, beautiful pattern. So that is how to do the Paris stitch. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm to do something that shows it to other crocheters. I shall pop 2 more videos on the side of the screen here to help you on your crochet journey, and I will see you over there. Thank you so much for joining me on this one, and happy hooking!